Hey guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this podcast I wanted to come on here and share my story about how gangstalkers are out to destroy the empath. Gangstalkers are out to destroy the empath, and that means anyone who is your family, friend, any gangstalkers in your life, and not just that, but strangers. The veil has been lifted, and what people don't seem to understand is that as much as we have gang stalkers in our families, we made it this far because they were a shield. The whole world is filled with gang stalkers, but our families were shields. And now everyone is out for themselves, even if they don't say it, even if they're pretending, to smile in your face. They're after the super empath. The super empath is someone that is empathetic, intuitive. You might have dreams, you might have, different intuitions. And a lot of times you see things coming before they come. You see things happening before they happen. You can feel energies in the room. You can feel energies in people's homes and just out in the street when you're out and about. As for me, I've spoken to you guys how I feel about spirituality, how I feel about shadow people, how I feel about, good spirits around us, good energy around us, whatever you want to call it, the universal law, what goes around comes around. And the only way these gang stalkers can touch you is if you basically get on their level. If you get on their level or if you react, they'll get you. And I want to tell you guys two different occasions, because it's something that I've been, wanting to talk about, but it happened to me again. And I've made videos about gang stalking in the past, and I've recorded, and I think people had a different perspective back then, because it makes you look kind of, like out of it. But if you're really spiritually in tune and you've came to the point where you finally understand, it's like you're having an awakening, and you are going nuts in a way because there's things that were happening in front of you that you didn't even realize. It's like watching a movie over and over again, and you're missing all the important key points, all the red flags. And now you're like, oh snap, there's red flags everywhere. And everywhere I go, that energy is following me around to prey on me. This is how gang stalkers are created, because of their low frequencies, and they don't even know why they attack you. They don't just attack the empath, right? They're willing to destroy themselves to destroy other people. They're willing to destroy other narcissists as well. But the empath is the one that has the most resources. It's, you're the one that it doesn't matter how much the narcissist tries to break down. You always manage to get up at the right time. God looks out for you just at the right time, or you might struggle until you learn a lesson. And when you complete that level, you go to another level and good things happen. And then you're tested again in different ways with different people, with people around you. You might have people at one level that help you get to the next level. And then now you're at this level and they're like, oh, no new friends. We're at this new level together, right? And they're trying to secretly sabotage you because they're trying to move on to the next level, because they helped you to that level in a way, because, you found someone that was like you, but they want to take all the credit for it. They don't realize that the reason you even match their energy is because you're on the same frequency, but they get greedy and they become gang stalkers. And now you have to move to the next level without them. That's why you have to leave people behind, because you can be fooled into coming back for someone to help them. And this person might be someone else. They're not even the person you remember them as being. They're probably, were at that level that you left them at spiritually. And then next thing you know, they allowed these gang stalkers to poison them And now this person looks like the person that you knew, but there's something different about them and you can't figure it out until they do something to you. And then you're like, oh, I was having a bad intuition about them. So in order for you to protect your energy, you have to get rid of people who are gossiping, and they'll wonder why you're not talking to them, and you'll see that these people get to a point where they just expect you to be there for them, right? You'll see that the moment that you're just like, I'm not going to be there, I just want to test this out. You'll see that next thing you know, they're stalking you. This could be anyone. They'll start stalking you, and you're like, all I did was not answer one call one time, but now they're hunting you down. They need your energy that bad. And this could be a stranger. So you have to go out into the world with a clear mind, with a clear spirit. You have to go out into the world understanding that these gang stalkers are going to do things to provoke you. And I'm going to share with you the first incident that I had, right? Once I realized, I've been knowing about the gang stalkers, but they're on another level right now. And this is why I'm like, you know what, let me make this video, because it's been happening too, frequently. And I know it's because of the pandemic and what's been going on. A lot of us that have been awakened before the pandemic, a lot of you guys that have been following me from the start, you guys already understand what's going on. But for the new people coming in, you have to be careful, especially if you're young, you're naive. And I just want to share these stories for you so that you can know why it's so important to have your energy cleared from the toxicity, to understand, forgive. You have to forgive as well, because if you have anger, hate, or resentment towards someone and you expect that person to change for you instead of changing yourself, you're literally, you're literally in a battle with yourself, because if you know who you are, you shouldn't let anyone affect you, but you always still have to be aware, because some of these people, like I said, they'll pretend for a long time, but there's only so long that they can pretend for, and you just have to understand that some people are going to, turn on you, and, not everyone is going to reject you in the same way. Some people are going to do things greater than others. But, I was doing some home remodeling or whatever at the time, and I went to Home Depot to buy some like tiles and like floor equipment, and I ended up renting a machine. So when I went back to return the machine, I'm already going. Every time I go out in the world, I'm careful to follow the rules. People don't understand why rules are put in place, but the rules are put in place because these gang stalkers are out of control. That's what the rules are for. So you have to make sure that you don't do the stuff that the gang stalkers do, like driving fast, messing with people. You have to make sure you don't put yourself in that situation, because, law enforcement, people like that, some of them are gang stalkers, and they're after gang stalkers as well, and they're after empaths. They're after anyone they can get energy from. Because these gang stalkers come in all ages. Some of them are old. I've had old ladies, try to get over on me. That's when I learned another valuable lesson. I'm like, oh, okay, if you're so woke like you say you are, you have to understand that this could be a child. There's some kids that's like full grown adults, like in their minds, like it's not even a kid. And they know they're kids, so they pretend. There's all ethnicities. There's all these things in the world to confuse everyone and to point fingers and cause hate. And when you have hate in your heart, you're technically a gang stalker yourself. If you're pointing people's flaws, or these people this, these people that, if you're falling for all of the media stuff, if you're falling for all that stuff, you're not completely awakened. If you have hate for someone else's age, culture, age, if you have hate, if you're pointing these things out, there's something wrong with you. And you might be awakened, but you might be someone that keeps going to sleep. And if you keep going to sleep, you're going to keep getting got. And this is why it's important to be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your energy. So as I went back to Home Depot to return the equipment, it was too heavy for me. So I was trying to get help. Then I tried to get it out. So what I did was I parked in the front, right in front of the door. And I know it wasn't a parking space, right? But I couldn't carry this equipment. I just wanted to get it out, and pull it to the front. Like I told you guys, I'm very intuitive. So when I came out, I'm literally in there for like 3 minutes. And when I'm walking out, like I've told you guys, I'm always aware, very aware of my surroundings. So when I go outside, I'm looking at my car from a distance, and I'm telling you, my whole bumper smashed in. There's pieces hanging on the floor, and my heart just dropped because I couldn't believe, like, my baby was just messed up, right? And I'm looking around. There's people that are walking by and they're staring at the car. There's people that look like they're recording. But no one is saying anything. They're just gang stalkers. Everyone's like, I'm not getting involved. Not my business, but I'm watching, and they're just staring, and I'm looking around like I'm hunting them down. I'm like, which one of these gang stalkers did it? Everyone's staring at the car except one person. And I look up and I'm like, this person's pretending like they don't see what's going on. They're the only person that, like, in my mind, my mind's going crazy. And I'm like, she's the only person that's not looking. She's the only person that is acting like she's really uninterested. And, I'm one of those people that I'm uninterested too. I am that way. But my spirit told me, she's not on that level. She's a gang stalker. I could just tell her body language, everything. I'm like, she's a gang stalker. She just has that look like you're up to something. You don't care when you do certain things. They carry an energy about them where you could just tell by looking at them. And I'm looking like, no one around here, is not looking but you. So in my mind, I'm like, it's you. And I know that I shouldn't go up to people and tell them that it's them, right? But I'm just so intuitive that I have dreams. I have, I'm able to tell people certain things that, they've never shared with me. It's just information that consciously comes to me. And, I call it the voice of God. And the voice of God said, she did it. The gang stalker right there did it. And a part of me was like, I tried to not lose my cool, right? It's something that I practice, my inner peace. And I said, that bad energy wants me to react bad. It really does. And I knew what was happening. It wanted me to react because I take very good care of my things, my car. So I was like, oh, it wants me to react. I'm trying to do everything right. I'm trying to, make sure that I follow the rules and that, I'm always one step ahead. But this time I couldn't control it. So I'm like, oh, they got me good. But I go up to this woman and I'm like, it's her. So I'm going to test her spirit out. You should always test a spirit out, right? So I tell her, I said, excuse me, you hit my car. And she goes, well, you shouldn't have parked there. That's not a real parking space. And she just starts going off from 0 to 100. And I was like, ma'am, I was dropping off an equipment that I can't carry because it's too heavy. So, I'm just unloading it. I said, you still destroyed my property and you're driving a U-Haul truck. She's driving a U-Haul truck. I said, look, it's understandable that you're driving a U-Haul truck and it might have been a blind spot, and you might not be used to driving a U-Haul truck. And it's called an accident. Accidents happen. Instead of yelling at me, you should be apologizing. And then she gets quiet because I'm giving her love, even though she's giving me hate. And she's like, let me go get the U-Haul information. I have insurance only through them. I don't have personal insurance, but I have insurance through the U-Haul. I think that's what she said. And she gave me the information and I called the U-Haul while she was right there and then because I wanted to make sure she got the U-Haul from them. I was like, I'm going to follow you until I figure out where you got this U-Haul, where it came from. I'm not playing because I don't trust these gang stalkers. And she just didn't care, gave me the information. She didn't care. She got back in the car. I know she didn't really authentically apologize. She only said that because she saw my reaction. She thought I was going to come out and I was going to start like yelling at her and like, her perception was totally wrong. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to get a reaction out of me. So me knowing that, I couldn't even get mad. I was just thinking to myself, things can be fixed, like relax, and, they ended up paying me, and everything was fixed and it was like it never happened. But this is what I'm saying with gang stalkers. They're going to provoke you. They're going to do things and you have to keep your cool because the moment that you get on their level, they've won. But the moment that you know what's going on and you're paying attention and you're holding your composure, you're not giving them the energy that you want, God is able to bless you and help you so that you can fix those problems. But if you react, this person's going to drive off, this person might hit you, this person might shoot you. The gang stalkers don't play. Gang stalkers don't play. So if you know how gang stalkers are, don't sit here and act like they're not capable of these things. You know they're capable of these things. You know that as a super empath, you feel emotions strongly. So a lot of times you're going to find occasions where you're going to be baffled because you're watching things play out right in front of you, like a movie, and you just can't believe the way these characters are behaving, But recently, yesterday, that's why I made this video. I'm going back to share that story, and then I'm sharing this other story, and that's yesterday. I'm one of those people, like I said, I protect my energy. I don't like traffic. I don't like big, large groups of people where there's random people that I don't know. I don't like those type of environments. And if I am, I need people around me that are on my frequency and things like that. And, when I'm going to certain places, I'm very careful, very cautious. And like I said, I still know that the gang stalkers are going to mess with me. So I still have to be aware. But I feel like, most of the time, you can't give them the power that they're seeking if you know what they're doing from the start. When they start asking you weird questions, when they're trying to ask you personal questions, when they're trying to overstep your boundaries, they're trying to act like good people, but they're not really good people, but you allow them to act like they're good people because you don't want to tick these type of people off. You have a disagreement with them. These are the type of people that start cursing you out, ready to fight you, ready to kill you at this point. That people don't even like fighting anymore. They're like ready to kill. They'll go on live and kill you while they're doing it. Ready to take you and do a murder suicide because they're ready to go anyway. The narcissist is like, I'm ready to go, So I did go to the grocery store, and usually I try to go like times where I know there's not a lot of gang stalkers. So if I know that, people are, working in school, I'll go. Or if I know they're getting off school or people are getting off work, I won't go somewhere. I'll pick and choose how I purchase certain things. Certain things I'll just do like, a curbside or something. But I decided to go late at night to the store because I'm thinking, yeah, there might be someone outside or something, but I'm going to park right here, right next to the store. And there's still lights. It's a couple of people out here, and it's not really too many people inside this store at all. Like, it's practically empty. And when I walked in, I literally felt like something was off. Like, as soon as I walk in, and I'm thinking, like, why am I picking up this energy at the grocery store, right? I'm just thinking to myself, because I usually never pick it up, but then I'm thinking to myself, well, you never really go to the grocery store late at night either. And yeah, you came late at night because you felt like there's not going to be a lot of people, and that's how you like to keep things, right? But this is the first time you really went in late and by yourself. Usually when I've went, I've went like with my partner or something. So when I walked in, I just felt this rush of energy. And as I'm pushing the basket, I start seeing like shadow energy, like dark energy passing by, like running around. And I was like, oh, it's some stuff going on in here. Like in my head, I'm just thinking it in my head. Then I get to like the produce section, and I'm grabbing like vegetables and fruits and bananas, and I have this little wallet purse thingy that you can wrap around your hand, and I had my car keys attached to it, but I didn't have it wrapped around my hands. I literally had it in my basket, and I was just putting my produce in the basket, the little basket at the top, the little pocket. And, I can feel energy before it gets close to me, right? When people are walking, I could feel their arms swinging. But on this occasion, I'm looking around. There's no one there. It's late at night. No one's in the produce section. I'm literally thinking to myself, there's negative energy. I'm already thinking this. So something told me someone's watching you. I'm like, a gang stalker is watching you. They spotted you out. And I'm thinking, why? Like, because you're trying to camouflage a lot of times, but I'm thinking, okay, a gang stalker spotted me out. They can sense me, and they're watching me, and they saw something that attracted them, and I don't know what it was, right? I'm thinking, like, what is it that attracted this vampire/zombie? And I don't know who it is. I don't see anyone. I look around. I'm not seeing anyone. But I did see those, like, some shadows going through. That's why I'm making this video. I'm like, oh, it was some negative energy in there, like nasty energy. So I'm putting the produce in, like, one of those little plastic bags, to wrap it around or whatever. And I feel that energy coming closer to me. So I turn around, but I don't see anything. Because usually I can feel, like I said, people's arms swinging as they're walking, the gang stalkers. I can feel them. But this time I turn to my left. There's no one there. Then I felt the energy behind me, and I felt it on the right side of me. So I looked to my right side, and it's a lady in a wheelchair, like those electric wheelchairs. And then I jumped. I literally jumped, like, oh, snap. Like, she scared the hell out of me because I knew someone was around me, but I didn't see them coming. I knew they were coming for me. It's like you're falling into a deep sleep and you're going to jump, right? That jump feeling. And I'm like, someone's coming for me. I look, don't see no one. Turn around, and I'm like, oh, I didn't see them because they're in that little motorcycle. They're in that little wheelchair, the electric wheelchair. So that's why they were able to ride around me so smoothly. And then a thought came in my head, and God said to me, she's after your wallet. Because I had my little wallet with my keys attached right there on the front. And I'm like, she can't get it because I'm I'm right next to it. So she can't just grab it, and she's on a wheelchair. But she thought she was going to pull a quick one on me. She thought that I was like one of these people that are asleep, right? She's like, oh, they thought they got a good one. That's what they thought they had. So I'm literally thinking to myself, oh, she was trying to take your wallet. She thinks because she's in a wheelchair, like, she thinks I'm not paying attention, and then she leaves. And when she leaves, I have my eyes on her. Like, I know what you were trying to do. And she leaves in her little thing. And, she goes in the same direction that she came from. And the same direction that she came from, it was like a little track that she went on the same little track that she came from, wherever direction she came from. And I realized she got really, really close to me. Like, when I jumped because she was so close to me. So I start pushing my basket, and I'm going around, I'm hitting the corner, and I'm just still grabbing bananas and things. And I'm thinking already, like, someone's still watching you. I'm like, dang, it's some gang stalkers in here. I'm like, someone's still watching you. But I'm looking around, still don't see anyone. Still don't see anyone. Now I'm walking down, after I get the bananas, I'm walking down the section, where they have all the meats and all that stuff. And I'm headed towards where the milk is. And I'm going down there and I'm like, I need to get some coconut milk. So I'm headed down there and I feel like it's two spirits running around me, like two shadows. But I'm looking around, there's no one there. I just see the shadows. I'm getting to the window. I'm just feeling the energy. I get my milk and I'm like, okay, walk really fast to the front so that you can pay attention to your hearing. This is why it's so important to pay attention to your senses. Hearing is part of one of your senses, right? I'm listening as I'm walking fast and I'm hearing the basket wheels go round and round and I'm going fast, walking kind of fast. And I'm going to make a left at the corner where there's winery and I'm going to go straight to the lanes that are open, right? So as I'm walking straight down before I hit that left by the winery, I'm listening to little footsteps running. As I'm hearing those footsteps, I said to myself, the vampire zombie is running to the front. And then I said, someone's still behind you. My inner voice said, someone's still behind you. It was like I was having a whole dialogue by myself. I said, someone's running to the front. And then the other side of me said, and someone's still behind you. I'm like, these gang stalkers, it's no joke at nighttime. Now I understand why in zombie movies people are like hiding at nighttime and they're like, don't go outside, because the weirdos are out. Like, they feel like you should know we're out. You should know we're out at nighttime. Everyone knows you need to get home before the streetlights, come on. Everyone knows that. They've been knowing that forever. That was the spirit that was following me. That's how I felt the energy, like that. And I'm listening to the footsteps running fast. And I'm like, oh, there's like some creepy crawlers in here. And I'm like turning the left by the winery. And I still feel a presence that's following me, lurking from behind, but I don't see anyone. And as soon as I get to the front, right, there's only 2 lanes that's open. And both of them don't have no one, basically. They both have like 2 customers on each lane. No, I mean like each lane had 1 customer. And then on the first lane that I was going to hit, there's a girl, Hispanic girl, short, skinny, and she's like right there. And she looks a little bit like she looks young, but she looks like she's on drugs in a way. Like I didn't know if she was high or not, but she just looks like she belonged to the streets. And I was like, oh, that's who's been following you. My head was saying, that's who's been following you. And then the girl goes, oh, go ahead. You can go in front of me. And I said, why the hell does she want me to go in front of her if she's only holding 1 thing? And she said, oh, I'm still waiting for my friend. And I was like, why don't you pay for that 1 item you have that's cheap? And, and when she said, you're waiting for your friend, the voice inside of me said, that's the spirit that's been following you from the back. And then when she said, that's what went across my mind when she told me she was waiting for her friend. So I'm just thinking to myself, well, if she wanted to steal my wallet, why didn't she steal it when she was back there, when I was, getting my milk? Why were they, gaining up on me like that? And I thought to myself, my inner voice said, it's because you were in the back. Now you've made it to the front. My inner voice is just telling me you've made it to the front. So now they don't have a long distance to run from here to the door. So when she said, I'm waiting for my friend, I'm thinking, oh, that's the spirit that's been following me from the back. And then next thing you know, the friend just pops out of nowhere. And as soon as she pops up, my inner voice said, grab your wallet and put it around your hand. So I did it. And my keys were attached to it. So I was like, oh, okay, it's them who's been chasing me around the store since I got in here. So I took the keys out because, it's logical that people will try to steal and run. And when you think about it, in the daytime, there's a lot of people. By the time they get to the front, someone can hold them down, but at nighttime, there's no one there to hold them down. They're going to do it fast. And they're thinking that you're slow, so they're going to, bust a fast one on you. And the only reason I even had my wallet sitting on the little pocket was because there was no one around me. But I didn't know someone was that thirsty, like watching from me, from a distance. I just was feeling the energies. So as soon as a friend comes, I put the little round wallet thing on my wrist, and I snap the keys off, and I look at them, and I put the keys in my pocket, like letting them know, like, man, if you would have took off with my wallet, you little dummy, you would have took off with my car keys too. And when I did that, they both looked at each other, and they start busting up laughing, like loud, like they couldn't believe that I knew what they were up to. Like they couldn't believe. They were looking at me like, oh, she knew we were staring at it the whole time. She knew about the lady in the wheelchair. She knew that we were all connected. She knew from the start. So that's what they were laughing about, because they were like, oh, she's not just like walking around with her wallet thing there. She just knows that the store is empty. That's why she was comfortable doing that. But she felt our presence. She felt our energy, and what we were trying to do to her. That's why she's showing us, like, you would have took off with my keys, So you've been running around the store chasing me, you little gang stalker, and literally for an hour. And in the end, you didn't get anything. You could have filled out a job application. You took a whole hour to gang stalk me, and you didn't even get anything. You look dumb. And you're laughing. They're laughing and smirking like demonically. They looked like some washed down like strippers. Like they were laughing so demonically. And I'm like, what are you laughing at? I should be laughing at you. But I'm not, because I'm not even feeding into your energy. I'm just letting you know I know what you were trying to do. I know what you were trying to do. And you look stupid to me. You're not on my level. I was already steps ahead of you, and you guys were thinking you were steps ahead of me, watching me and running through the store and doing all this weird stuff. And I already was feeling the energy, your shadows lurking, chasing me like a nightmare, but I already know what you're trying to do. So I'm not giving you any energy. And, it made me really just think about like back in the day where like I used to watch people in my neighborhood like put money in their socks, put money in their bras. And I was like, oh, it's that serious. Like, I don't even carry a purse. All I have is this little wallet thing, and you guys are that thirsty that you guys thought you guys were going to catch me slipping just because I had it down. I'm literally walking around the store not thinking someone's going to run up on me because there's no one there. But I did feel like something was after me, and I'm already a cautious person. I'm already someone who's very sensitive to energy. So when I felt that energy while I'm shopping, and usually when I'm shopping, I zone out, and most of the time I feel at ease, but this time it was different. It was different. And I was like, oh, it's because it's nighttime. So it might look like no one's here, but these spirits are in here jumping around looking for someone. There's men in here. There's men that are looking for women. There's men in here lurking around. I had a man that followed me around a little bit, and I kept going the opposite direction to see if he was following me. And I was like, it's a lot of activity going on at nighttime in the grocery store. I just hadn't paid attention to it. And that's when I realized it's like in the zombie movies, like, we already know the streets are dangerous. Like, we know the streets are dangerous. You don't want to go walking in the liquor stores at night. You don't want to do none of that stuff. But I was not expecting that type of energy at the grocery store. And that's when I had to learn like a lesson that God was trying to tell me. And that was that in the times that we're living in, these are not the times to do stuff like that, because these gang stalkers, they know that during the day, everything is so hectic, with the holidays that just passed by, everyone's shopping, everyone's in the streets driving fast. They know that there's going to be empaths that are trying to avoid the gang stalkers and these self-aware narcissists, they're coming for us. They're coming at the times that we know to go. We have routines. We have a routine, certain places we go, certain times we have routines. And sometimes we try to mix up our routines a little bit because we know that someone might be watching. So it's kind of like, when you're driving back home and you try to hit a different corner because you're like, is that car following me? That's how you have to literally maneuver through life, where you do have to, even if you have a routine, you have to be paying attention, on that routine. Is there a car that's driving that looks identical every time I get on the freeway? Like, you have to pay attention to the smallest details, because that's the stuff that most people ignore with narcissists. And that's what you're going to experience with gang stalkers out in the world, especially in the times we're living in. This person probably thought, like, I don't know what they thought, but they didn't care about me. They didn't care about stealing from me, my family, my household. They didn't care. They were out to get my wallet, and they were going to do all that to take away $4 or something. And I was thinking to myself, well, why didn't she just take my wallet right there and then? And it was like God was telling me, because if she takes your wallet right now and she leaves her friend behind, her friend can get caught up. Her friend can get caught up. So they have to do it together. And if you start fighting her and you react to this gang stalker, if you start reacting to her, her friend's going to jump up on top of you, and you don't know if she's carrying like a pocket knife or something. So that's why they have to team up together to do it. These gang stalkers are willing to lose their life, their reputation, go to jail together. And these are women. You're probably most likely a narcissist woman on the street sleeping around with different men. It looks like both of you guys are, probably two narcissists that are together, and you go out searching for men to rob together, and you don't even, and you might not even rob men. You might just want men to provide a roof over your head. You're willing to give them whatever they want for a roof over your head. You probably live on the street in hotels or motels or whatever, and you would rather steal from another woman than apply yourself to a job or try to do something with yourself. You're in here late at night, and then you're laughing because I got you, devil. I got you, devil. And he's laughing like, I'm telling you, those spirits were laughing. As soon as I grabbed my wallet, put it around my hand, and put my keys, and I snatched my keys from the wallet like aggressively and put it in my pocket to let them know, they start laughing. Why would you laugh? Because you know that I got you. And I put the keys in my pocket like, oh, you guys are demonic, and they just start busting up laughing. And I'm like, yeah, because I got you. And the way they laughed, it was like the devil knew that I knew what they were up to. And they were like, oh, my bad. Oh, we're dumb. We've been following you around for an hour, and we look stupid. We really thought we were going to get you. And I felt the pressure the whole time. I was feeling the pressure, and I was like, someone's running to the front. It was like little kids chasing me around the store. I heard the little footsteps running to the front, and I'm like, oh, someone's running to the front. They think I'm stupid or something. I'm like, okay, they got the right one today. Don't let my looks deceive you. I'm smart. Walk to the front. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's you. As soon as she said, you can go in front of me, I was like, oh, you're the devil that's been chasing me. And then when she said, oh, I'm waiting for my friend, I said, oh, that's the devil that's behind me. The devil's on my ass. So these gang stalkers, you guys, they're not playing. You have to be careful. They're hating right now. They're looking at what you have. They're looking at your house. They're looking at your cars. They're looking at, what you own. They're jealous of you, and you might not even be rich. They're just like super thirsty with it. They're looking if you have jewelry. These women are out here walking around with jewelry, men walking around with jewelry, and guess what? They're looking at you. They're watching you. And you're sitting here, these people are like, oh, I'm giving them something to watch. I want them to watch me, and it's like, no, you don't want the gang stalkers to watch you. You shouldn't want to put a show on for them, because once one of them comes, a whole bunch of them are going to come from all kind of directions, from your family to your friends. They're just going to start showing their colors out of nowhere. So, don't, keep these people dehydrated. Do not give them any energy, and don't even let your friends take away so much energy from you. Don't let them dump all of their energy on you, because you will feel depleted after, Make sure that whoever you're feeding into, they're feeding right back into you, because these aren't the times to be playing those type of games anymore. And, people that have been following me for a long time, you guys already know. So at this time that we're living in, these times that we're in, people keep going back to sleep, like they're forgetting all the stuff that's going on in the world. They're trying to block it, because they're like, I'm not, with all this stuff that's going on. But you also have to still be cautious. So, do not feed these gang stalkers. I could have easily said something to them, and guess what? They would have waited till I got out, and they could have came up to me and stabbed me. So that's why I didn't say anything to them, because I was like, these people are like low grade narcissists, like low grade vultures, So, I wanted to come here and share this with you guys so that it can, help you guys save your lives, for you women that love walking around with your purses and things like that. These aren't the times to do that. You can't even walk around with a purse anymore. You can't even do that. If you have a little wallet on your phone, do that, because you can easily put your phone in your pocket, and even then you have weirdos trying to dig in your pocket, or waiting for you to put your phone down, and they're watching you. And that's what you guys don't understand. You can easily go somewhere, anywhere, and you're walking in, grabbing your phone, and they're looking at your phone like, oh, it has a little wallet on it. And you don't even know that they're literally following you the whole time you're at the store, all the way till you get to your car. It's serious out here. Don't think they won't follow you home and wait for you to take your groceries out your car. Don't think they won't wait till you open your car door. You have to pay attention, because they're after you. So I'm sending you guys lots of love, light, peace. Do not forget to subscribe, you guys. If you guys are new to my channel, do not forget to like, share, comment. And I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of protection. Pray, be aware, be thankful. Don't hold grudges. Don't be mad at anyone. This war that you're in, you're on it by you're in it by yourself. It's okay. Because if you're with other people, or if you're with that narcissist, in a relationship with a narcissist, these are going to be the hardest times right now for you. You can't have baggage around you right now. You have to really protect your children right now. That if you have kids, that should be your main focus, because these are not the times right now. These aren't the times, because the narcissists, they're a gang stalker themselves. So guess what? They're going to be teaming up with other gang stalkers, people that you don't know, just to get you again. Don't open that door. Don't go back, talking to people from your past because you're bored. They're not the same person anymore. They just want to know what you're up to. They want to know if you're awake or if you're still sleeping. They want to know if they could take energy from you and they can intrude themselves in your life, or if they can't. And if they feel like they can't, you'll see that they'll be hesitant to be around you. They're not going to want to be your friend. They're going to feel uncomfortable, because they know no matter how goofy you are, no matter how much of a good spirit you are, they know that you could see through them, and it makes them feel uncomfortable. They can't be around. This is why you'll see that they'll hang around certain people, because they know those people are on the same frequency. So even if you try to act like you're on their frequency, they're still smelling something about you. They're like, nope, you're not like us. Something's going on. And they feel like you could see through them. So, be careful with these gang stalkers. Be careful. Don't even look these people in the eyes. It's not about, being scared, but it's about making sure you're paying attention to your surroundings, catching everyone's energy. And once you catch the energy, then you can, kind of, do your own thing, but always pay attention to the energy around you first. You have to use your senses. Animals don't just go approaching other animals. It takes them a while to even approach someone. So be careful with people that are just trying to befriend you all super fast. That's weird. Calm down. What are you up to? What's going on? Pay attention to people that are expecting you to be there for them all the time. And the moment you don't answer them one time for one day or something, they're constantly calling you, trying to call other people to check up on you. That's weird behavior. That's weird. Oh, where's this person at? They're all connected one way or another. It's just some of them are idle. So when that person calls them, they wake up a little bit, So, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.